Ninja Monthly member Carrie writes in, I've been with my current public accounting firm for almost 12 years. I started out as an administrative assistant. I went back to school and got my bachelor's in accounting. I have 147 hours due to changing my major a few times. Seriously, who knows what they want to be out of high school? So now I am a senior tax accountant. I passed one part of the CPA exam, came really close on a bunch of other parts, and then lost it. So I started over. I currently have one part passed again, and I have until June 2019 to pass. I decided to take a position in a construction company as a project accountant. Here's the question. In Pennsylvania, I am required to have 1 year experience, I believe. Will the firm I am with now be required to sign off on my experience? I know I still need 3 more credits, but I'm worried about the experience part. Thanks. Okay, so every state board of accountancy is different. So do they require your experience to be signed off by someone who is a currently licensed CPA, or is it someone who used to be a licensed CPA and now they've let their license lapse, but they were at one point a licensed CPA and can sign off on your experience? Every state is different because, like, let's face it, if you work in industry, and so there are a lot of large publicly traded companies who have Big Four alums as their CFO, controller, and accounting manager, etc. And here's the deal. Now, I know that everyone is excited to pass the CPA exam, and they want to keep their, of course, that's my certificate, it's not my license, but I am currently licensed, and the reason why I do that is so I can hold myself out as a CPA, and because it's relevant for what I do. But when you've done the public accounting thing and you put in your time and you want to just hang out in industry and not hold yourself out as a CPA anymore, a lot of people don't keep their license active because, let's face it, 80 years of CPE a year, or 80 hours of CPE a year. No, 80 hours of CPE every 2 years. I'm going to get comments in the video, Jeff, you're drunk. Every 2 years, you have to have 80 hours of CPE. There you go. It's a drag. CPE is boring. CPE is expensive. CPE is inconvenient. And I could easily argue that it doesn't really add a lot of value, because if you work in public accounting and all you do is tax returns, like you know about taxes and you know about current tax law, because if you don't know about current tax law and if you mess up someone's return, then you're liable. So, but anyway, let's not get off on a CPE soapbox tangent. A lot of people, managers in industry, they don't have their license current. And so if your experience requirement has to be signed off by someone who has a current license, that could be a problem for you. So here's the answer to your question. You need to call the Pennsylvania State Board of Accountancy and ask specifically for the director and tell them about your situation and find out who can sign off on your experience requirement. Now, the Pennsylvania Board of Accountancy likely on their website says exactly what the requirements are, so maybe you save yourself a phone call. But I think it's probably a good idea to call them and then follow them up with an email saying, hey, thank you for your time on the phone, just so that I understand exactly what you said. This is what I heard you say, and if they respond, yeah, that's exactly right, then you have it in writing. So later on down the road, if you have an issue come up, you have it in writing. But every board of accountancy is different. So, when I had to get my experience requirement signed off, I believe the person who signed off on my experience was currently licensed, and I don't quite remember what Kansas's rules were, but anyway, I was good to go. I had the experience covered either way, but I would do your due diligence, check out the regs on your State Board of Accountancy, follow up with a phone call to the State Board of Accountancy, and then that way you have all your bases covered.